Now, I got to tell you folks, there's just one thing I hate worse than going to town. And that's picking something up for my wife when I'm in town. Now, Mr. Hershey, he feels the same way, and the reason I know that is because he took pen to paper and told us. Now, I ain't much for shopping or going into town, except for cattle shipping time. I ain't too easily found. But the day came when I had to go. I left the kids with Ma. Before I left, she asked me, "Would you pick me up a bra?" So without thinking, I said, "Sure, how tough can that job be?" I bent down and kissed her, said I'd be back by 3. Well, I'd done the things that I needed, but I started to regret never offering to buy that thing. That worked me up a sweat. I walked right into that lady's shop, my hat over my eyes. Didn't want to take a chance on being recognized. I walked right up to that sales clerk. I didn't hem or haw. Told that lady right straight out, "I'm here to buy a bra." From behind I heard some snickers, so I turned around to see every woman in that store gawking right at me. "Well, what kind would you be looking for?" Well, I just scratched my head. I'd only seen one kind before. "Thought bras is bras," I said. Well, she gave me a disgusted look and said, "Well, sir, that's where you're wrong. Follow me," I heard her say. Like a dog, I tagged along. She took me down this alley where bras were on display. I thought my jaw would hit the floor when I saw all that lingerie. Why, they had all these different styles I had never seen before. Thought I'd go plumb crazy before I left that woman's store. Why, they had bras you wear for 18 hours and bras that cross your heart. There were bras that lift and separate, and that was just the start. Why, they had bras that made you feel like you ain't wearing none at all. And bras you train in when you start off, when you're small. Well, I finally made my mind up. I picked a black and lacy one. Told the lady to bag it up. And figured I was done. But then she asked me for the size, and I didn't hesitate. I knew that measurement by heart. It was 6 7/8. 6 7/8, she says, "That really isn't right." "Oh, yes, ma'am, I'm real positive. I measured them last night." I thought she'd go into shock. Must have took her by surprise when I told her that my wife's bust was the same as my hat size. Now, that's what I used to measure with. I figured it was fair. But if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, ma'am. Well, that drew another stare. Well, by now a crowd had gathered, and they all was cracking up when she asked me for my hat to measure for the cut. Well, when she finally had it figured, I gave the gal her pay. And then I turned and left the store and tipped my hat and said, "Good day." Well, my wife had heard the story long before I got home. She talked to 15 women who called her on the phone. She was still laughing, but by then I didn't care. Now she don't ask, and I don't shop for women's underwear.